Right. So here is a wonderfully weird sentence. A comet passed through our solar system, and it may have started its journey before the Sunday even existed. This object is called 3I Atlas. It is only the third confirmed interstellar object ever seen passing through our solar system, after ʻOumuamua in 2017 and Borisov in 2019 and Borisov in 2019. And unlike most comets, this one was never ours. It did not form in the distant icy outskirts of the solar system. It came from somewhere else entirely. Now that already sounds dramatic enough. The really interesting part is what telescopes have found inside it. 3I Atlas appears to carry chemical clues from a much colder, older, and very different planetary system. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope found unusual chemistry, including very high levels of heavy water. ALMA also measured deuterated water in the comet and found that its ratio is at least 30 times higher than in comets from our own solar system. And that is not just a random chemistry detail, that is a fossil. Because comets are basically frozen leftovers from planetary system formation. They are dirty snowballs. Yes, but very useful dirty snowballs. Their ice can preserve information about the temperature, radiation, and chemistry of the place where they formed. So when 3I Atlas shows chemistry very different from solar system comets, it is telling us, I was not made here. The first question is, how do we know it came from another star system? The answer is its orbit. 3I Atlas was moving too fast to be captured by the Sunday's gravity, followed what astronomers call a hyperbolic trajectory. In normal language, it entered the solar system, curved around the Sunday, and is now leaving forever. It is not coming back. NASA says it was discovered on the 1st of July 2025 by the Atlas Survey Telescope in Chile, and it was moving at about 137,000 miles per hour when discovered, near its closest approach to the Sunday. It sped up to about 153,000 miles per hour. That is not a lazy local comet doing laps around the Sunday. That is an interstellar object passing through. Now, here's where the headlines get spicy. Some reports say 3I Atlas may be older than the solar system. Some even suggest it may be 10 to 12 billion years old. And we need to be careful here, because we are not reading a birth certificate. There is no little label on the comet saying, made 11.3 billion years ago. Please handle with care. The age is inferred from models and chemistry. Oxford researchers argue that its motion suggests it may come from the Milky Way's thick disk population of older stars surrounding the thin disk where the Sunday lives. Their model suggests 3I is likely older than 7.5 billion years. Since the Sunday is about 4.6 billion years old, that already makes it potentially older than our entire solar system. Webb observations add another layer. NASA reports that the chemistry of 3I Atlas, especially its heavy water and carbon isotope clues, suggests it could have formed as long as 10 to 12 billion years ago, during a period called cosmic noon, when star formation in the universe was near its peak, which is absolutely ridiculous in the best possible way. Imagine holding a piece of ice that formed before Earth, before Jupiter, before the Sunday, maybe before our solar system was even a possibility. That is what this object represents, not literally in your hand, sadly, because it is racing out of the solar system at a very inconvenient speed, but scientifically. And Webb found something else, methane. ESA reports that Webb directly detected methane gas from an interstellar visitor for the first time. The methane seems to have been buried beneath the surface and released only after heat from the comet's pass near the Sunday reached deeper layers of ice. Webb also confirmed that 3I Atlas is unusually rich in carbon dioxide compared with typical solar system comets. So the picture is this: a cold, ancient comet formed in another planetary system, probably under conditions very different from ours, was kicked out into interstellar space, drifted through the galaxy for billions of years, and then briefly crossed our neighborhood. And yes, because this is the internet, some people immediately asked whether it could be alien technology. The annoying answer is there is no good evidence for that. Weird does not mean artificial. Strange chemistry does not mean spacecraft. Fast does not mean intelligent. 3I Atlas behaves like a comet. It has an icy nucleus, a coma of gas and dust, and outgassing driven by sunlight. Its properties are unusual, but unusual in a very comet-like way. This is actually more interesting than the alien version, because if it were just aliens, the story becomes one claim. But if it is a natural interstellar comet, then it becomes a sample from a planetary system we can never visit. It is a messenger from another star, carrying chemical memory from a colder and possibly much older part of the Milky Way. And that matters because we have only seen 3 confirmed interstellar visitors so far. 3 in the entire history of astronomy, but that is about to change. The Vera Rubin Observatory is expected to discover many more fast-moving, faint objects in the coming years. Oxford's team suggests Rubin may find between 5 and 50 interstellar objects, possibly including objects similar to 3I Atlas. That means 3I Atlas. That means 3I Atlas may not be a one-off curiosity. It may be the beginning of a new kind of astronomy, not just looking at other planetary systems from far away, but catching tiny pieces of them as they pass through our own backyard. So what do we know? We know 3I Atlas came from outside the solar system. We know it is only the third confirmed interstellar object ever observed. We know its chemistry is very different from local comets. We know it contains unusually high levels of heavy water and Webb-detected methane and carbon dioxide patterns that point to a different formation environment. What do we think? It may be older than the Sunday. It may have formed in a cold, dense region around an ancient star, possibly billions of years before our solar system existed. And what do we not know? We do not know its exact birthplace. We do not know exactly how old it is. We do not know what planetary system ejected it, and we do not know how common objects like this really are. But for a brief moment, the solar system received a visitor from another star. Not a spaceship, not a message. Something better. Scientifically, a frozen chemical archive from a place we have never seen. And then it left.